welcome to Lifestyle. I'm Denise Simons, your host, and this is a show about bringing life into your home and helping you create your style. And we do it all by giving you tips and inspiration and resources to create it all. Well, you're invited to untangle the wiring and sort through all the remotes and experience what Richard Friesen of Absolute AV calls pure control. Would you like to control your AC and heat unit, maybe your audio, visual, your sprinklers, and your security system, all from one control system, and maybe even do it from the beach in Florida? Well, that sounds pretty good. Richard can help. And also Hampton Home Furnishings. They're opening their doors this week, and we're excited to be announcing it here on our show. You know, we always love great resources, and Patrick Rasmussen is here, and he has brought some samples of what you can expect to find on their showroom floor. And guess what? They're having a party this week, and I will tell you how you can attend. We'll give you all of that information. But first, this is a custom build out. You know, I was talking to my husband Jackie this week. We were doing our Thanksgiving thing and making our turkey and dressing, and once we got all the pans out, well, you all have seen my kitchen, and it's ample size, right? But once you start getting all the pans out, it seems like the square footage just disappears. Well, that's what happened to this client. Take a look at what we did for her. Many homes are built with a standard kitchen to accommodate a small family. But when you have a large family or you like to entertain a lot, you might consider a build out. Originally, this kitchen stopped right here at this wall. And having the builder add on, well, it created all of this square footage for a large gathering space.
When we first built the home, it was beautiful. I was very excited to see what the finished product. But I began to realize I didn't have enough counter space. I wanted to entertain more. We have a large family. You know, I have one son, but I have a lot of sisters and brothers, and so does my husband and nieces and nephews. So we wanted to be able to have a large enough space that everyone could come in and we could entertain, not just in the dining room, but we could have like an eat-in kitchen. Now we have 6 chairs at the bar, so I can seat 6 people there. I can sit 8 people at the other table, so I can do 14 total in my kitchen now. And then I also have the dining room area, which seats 8 more people. So I can literally entertain 25 people at ease without everyone stepping on each other here now.
Since we wanted to seat a lot of people in this area, a built-in banquette was just the ticket. We had the builder build the banquette to follow the lines of the bay window, but of course a wooden bench wouldn't be very comfortable, so we added this really thick cushion. It's in the chocolate colors, and this is a commercial grade fabric, so it stands up to a lot of wear and tear. You know how when you go to a restaurant and you always ask for the booth? Well, why not have that in your own home? These cushions that we put on the back, great pillows, just add a lot of texture, and the trim looks great. But it also provides, well, something that you can put on your back. Karen didn't want anything to obstruct the view of outside, but we needed something to soften the edges and the molding around all the windows. So we treated them with 2 panels on either side that flank the bay window. And in the bay window, we used a valance. This really softened the horizontal lines, and it gave balance to the room. Now this panel is made of silk. It's a moss color with creams. And then at the bottom, we've added a large banding that's also in an embroidered silk. At the top, it's a very simple window treatment with a pinch pleat. And then we've added the rod, finials, and brackets in a bronze tone. Really brings in a Tuscan look. And now for the valance. The valance really needed to be something that softened the lines, the horizontal lines, but again, didn't obstruct the view. We used the pinch pleat again on this, and the rod had to be custom made because it was a bay window.
Well, it's a funny story how we came to use this table. We purchased 2 different tables in the end and used every piece of both tables throughout the house in different ways. I love the tabletop, but I didn't like the legs on the first table. And then okay, so I wanted to keep the tabletop. So then we went back and bought another table. I know this sounds crazy, but it was just difficult to find exactly what I wanted, and I really needed it to be just right. And so we ended up using the legs on the second table in another area in the home. Denise had an incredible idea of putting them up on the ceiling as kind of an entryway to the living room area. So all in all, nothing was wasted. We just got really creative on how to use each element from each table throughout the home.
This sofa was custom made to fit this space. We literally calculated by inches. It was tricky because we had to create the right pitch in the back, but we didn't want to get into any of our walkways. So we literally butted it up all the way to the end where the molding begins. This created the perfect little niche for Karen to have her quiet time, and she could look outside the window and see the turkey and deer. Now for the lighting. We added swing arms here for task lighting. Now here's a tip. I like to use swing arms in a lot of applications. In the bedroom they're great because they give you task lighting. And if you put a three-way bulb or a dimmer, you can also dim it down. I also like to use them around fireplaces and, as you see here, over a sofa area, but I always use them in pairs. Above, I hung a large piece of art in a Tuscan style, which really works well with the surroundings, and I topped it off with a large handmade cross with metal details.
I love wood. I love the organic feel of wood and nature and bringing the outside indoors. I look through a lot of magazines. I'm a huge fan of that, getting ideas from magazines. I think a lot of people do that. And being that I'm not a visionary, I have to be able to see the finished product. So I was able to see some beautiful ceilings and wood finishes, and I just chose to go that direction. I wanted to be able to draw the eye upward and then back down and just bring the whole look together in the room, from the wood to the floor, wood being on the floor, wood being on the ceiling, and then the faux finish in the center. I felt like would just be a nice way to create a really warm and inviting environment for my family to dine in.
So if your kitchen is feeling a little cramped and you want to entertain a large group, a build-out might be just what you need in your home. Now remember, construction is messy and it does take time, but it's well worth it in the end because you get this large gathering space that you get to enjoy your family and friends. Well, would you like to experience pure control? Oh, wouldn't we all? And get rid of what Richard Friesen calls wall acne? Well, we'll talk about that coming up with the Absolute AV Company. And there is a new showroom in town, and we're going to announce that coming up right after the break.